What's up, everybody, and welcome to the All Wrapped Up podcast. If you're new to the show or have been a weekly listener, thank you for tuning in and supporting the show. As you know, I don't ask for much, but I would appreciate it if you left your feedback and left a 5-star rating on any platform that you're listening to. It really helps us out in ranking to get the word out about the industry. And don't forget, if you find value in the content, subscribe and tell a friend. Now here's a brand new episode of All Wrapped Up with Jake Pike from Lucid Wraps.
I'm more self-taught, but I guess I want to say I'm self-taught by Justin. I've been a member of the Wrap Institute for going on 4 years now, and God, that guy is just the godfather. He just knows every single thing.
What's up, everybody? Thanks for tuning in to All Wrapped Up podcast. We'll be interviewing industry-leading wrap companies to share tips, tricks, stories, and more. All right, cool. So we'll go live. We've got Jake Pike from Lucid Wraps. What's going on, brother?
What's up, Jeff? How you doing?
Oh, hanging in there. Trying to beat the rain today, brother. The weather's been so wacky lately.
Yeah, same here. It's actually finally cleared up today.
Yeah, you got some good weather in Colorado.
Yeah, it's been decently nice. Past few days is off and on rain. That's how Colorado is, afternoon rains and whatnot. But all in all, in the upper 80s, low 90s.
Nice.
It's been great.
We'll take that all day, man.
Oh, yeah. Perfect weather. Perfect wrapping weather.
Perfect wrapping weather. That's what I like to hear. How we usually start the podcast, brother, which I always try to get an inside look of what you got going on at your shop or what type of projects you have going on for this week.
So I'm obviously in just a single installer. I use a few different shops. I use a specific shop for my color changes, and I use another shop for my commercial stuff. This week, I actually I wrapped a trolley, all matte black, through a trade show company, and so they're shipping that thing to Portland, and I guess some artist is gonna graffiti all over it, and I don't know what company it's for or what they're trying to get out, but wrapping a whole trolley was definitely check off the bucket list.
To say the least. Holy cow.
Yeah, so it's 3M 1080 matte black.
Nice.
All of it. They wanted everything blacked out. I'll be posting pictures soon.
Simple.
But yeah, nothing too crazy, but it was just a lot of rivets and a lot of coverage.
Nice. What are you using for your rivets?
Definitely Rolly Pro.
Rolly Pro, yeah.
That thing's a game changer.
Hell yeah. Saves all the time, sucks them in good enough.
Yeah. So I consider myself new school. I mean, I've seen people poke them. In my 3M preferred class, we had to use a rivet brush, which I've never used before.
Yeah, that's old school.
Yeah, it just seems super weird to do that, but I mean, I did it and it worked, so. Yeah,
I mean, to see, somebody's old school when they're taking out a rivet brush and hit those, those grommets or screws or whatnot.
Yeah, a few years back, I worked at a shop and, there was a rivet brush in one of the toolboxes, and some guy that I was installing with has a beard, and he whipped it out and he's like, "What's this?" And I was like, "Maybe that's a beard comb or something." And so he started combing his beard with it. So it was super funny. But
That's awesome. That's awesome. I love it. Love it. What else you got? What else you had going on?
So E-Tuck USA. So I don't know if you know what tucks are. Those tuk-tuks that are like 3-wheeled kind of motorcycle things. They're, if you look on my Instagram, I wrap a ton of them. And, there's a company that's trying to, push out 80 this year.
Wow.
which is nuts. And then there's 2 other companies that build them. So you can turn them into, you know, a trade show stand, or you can turn it into like a mini food truck pretty much. You can sell hot dogs out of it and tacos or whatever. And, but they're all electric, and I couldn't even tell you how many I've wrapped, but I pretty much got the contract to wrap all those, in Colorado for all these different companies. So
there you go.
It's always nice. Yeah.
Usually the ones you're talking about, usually I've seen them in the past, probably not in my era, but like in movies and stuff, they usually sell like ice creams and stuff out of them, right?
Yeah.
Is that what you're talking about?
They're big in India. So they come straight from India, and then these companies will build the inside of them to, you know, have water running if you need, or just put racks in it for chips, or, you know, just stuff like that. And I'll come and wrap it and with their design and stuff.
Nice. That's probably like a good little side project to do in between a slow day or whatnot. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're pretty nice. When I first started wrapping them, it took me probably about 3 days by myself to fully wrap one. Now it's taken me a day, maybe just finishing it up in the morning, and that's it. So they've become pretty easy.
Now those are like commercial graphics on them, right? You're not just doing color changes?
Yeah, well, some are color changed with just spot logos on top.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's all commercial.
Nice. Well, before we get into like kind of what you have going on mobile wise, you kind of being mobile and having 2 different shops for 2 different types of services for commercial and color change and stuff. Let's talk a little bit on your background. To take me back a little bit on how you got kind of involved in the wraps or graphics industry back in the day.
That's my favorite question. That's my favorite thing to hear from everybody else. It's so fun to see where everybody started. But it started when I was a little kid. I've always loved stickers. My mom was a teller at a bank, and she would always bring me to work. And, you know, back then they would give kids stickers. Mm-hmm. And me being in the back, I had access to the rolls of stickers that they had of, you know, Batman, Spider-Man, all that stuff. And I would just hoard those things. And me being OCD with everything, I would take them home and I would stick them on certain stuff, but it would have to be straight. It would have to go with what I'm sticking to. I never just slapped it on anything. And so I started off with that. And then, I just consider myself as a rap artist. I've always loved art. I've been on so many art trips through my school. I went on an art car trip, through my school, and it was down in Dallas, Texas. And, it's just what people do, just decorating their cars. Like they'll glue, you know, trolls all over their cars, or just random stuff all over their cars just to be, you know, different and stuff. And I was just super fascinated with that. And then, was hanging out with a buddy of mine, and his brother came home and he started wrapping his fridge in a Mountain Dew, graphic. And I was like, whoa, what is that? And he was just like, this is, you know, vehicle wrap stuff. This is what you wrap your cars with. And, so he's wrapping his fridge, and I'm just blown away by it. And so started off there, and where he worked, I started interning there. And ever since then, I've worked for 5 to 6 sign shops and wrap shops, and decided to go off on my own, almost 2 years ago. So yeah.
Wow. So you're super fresh as far as being more or less an entrepreneur in the industry the last couple of years. Yeah, business wise, for sure. I'm learning something every day. But it's good. I've made a name for myself working at all these shops, and learning a lot through all of them and through other contract installers who I've, you know, became good friends with, and that I help out with work through them. So every day's different, learning something new, but I love it. I couldn't ask for anything more. For sure. What was the hardest part about more or less going on your own, you think?
I think just the scary thing of money. Like, well, you know, when I first started my business, like out here, I don't know if it's different everywhere else, but it's more likely like a net 30. So you get paid within 30 days. It's not a set schedule, or you don't get, you know, paid right then. I mean, most personal jobs, of course, you get paid right then, but, you know, commercial jobs, you know, you're on a net 30. You're like, oh man, I didn't expect that because I need that money right now. So
right.
But that I think that's the only scariest thing. I've just connected super well with a bunch of people before I started, and everybody was just like, yeah, you definitely need to go off on your own. You're talented. You're fast. You know what you're doing. So
there you go.
Went for it. You know, nothing's ever going to happen unless you try it out. So.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah. I think that's a big kind of thing in the industry when you're starting off. It's the unknown of getting paid, or how you're going to get paid, and chasing that money, or being on a net 30, or even, you know, paying that pickup, you know, that awkwardness where you don't get paid at the end of the week, every Thursday, every Friday. It's basically, we talked off here. You were running around today, running errands, picking up bills, and, you know, picking up checks. Yeah. Yep. It's crazy. It's, every day is a different day, and every day you can get paid, and which is a good thing too.
Oh yeah. It's a beautiful thing.
But when you're slow, you're slow.
Yep.
There's no extra coming out of that. You got to make that extra initiative to keep yourself busy. How far out usually are you booked for jobs, so you kind of keep that cash flow kind of going?
Yeah, I'm usually booked out a month to a month and a half out. Wow. And it's been that way since last November. Before that, it was a little slow here and there. It'd get super crazy busy working, you know, 12, 16-hour days. But yeah, it's just, like I said, I'm still learning the scheduling and not to overbook myself, even though like it's so hard to say no, you know, but it's been great. I've learned how to, you know, schedule myself and keep myself busy. That way I do have a steady check coming in, and it's just, you know, one day at a time.
That's it. And learning kind of not to burn the candle on both ends too.
Yeah.
Because we can all get burnt.
Bridges,
you can't get burnt out at the end of the day. You got to kind of keep yourself sane and not work crazy hours and keep that balance. I think that's always a hard part too, is keeping that balance. Cause like you said, you never want to say no to jobs. You know, that's your livelihood. That's an extra bill getting paid at the end of the month. That's, you know, whatever, rent's getting paid this week because I was able to crank out that job last minute, or whatever the case may be. And, you know, that's the struggle we all kind of have until you kind of get to a point where you have employees, you have a brick and mortar and stuff like that. Yeah. And you built that, you know, brand, you know, 10, 15, 20 years into it, where people are just going to use you because, you know, they trust you. You know what I mean? You got to kind of hone in on that now, so later on you can kind of relax a little bit. You're not going to relax, but it's a little bit easier once you've made that brand noticeable in your area.
Yeah, it's hard to pick quantity over quality.
For sure.
I'm more of a quality person because, you know, at the end of the day, you know, like everybody says, that's your name on it. You want people to come back to you. You know, that's your artwork on their car. That's your work. You want people to come back. So, you know, definitely make it look good.
For sure. Now, as far as your kind of workflow, how much of either one, whether it be commercial or a color change, which one sways, you know, on the higher end that you do a lot of?
Actually this year I've noticed way more color changes. But obviously commercial is just constant. That's never going to stop. And that's definitely where the money's is. Right. I mean, I envy the shops that can, do color changes, do 2 cars a week and still make money and, be happy. I want that so bad. Cause I love color changes. If I could do color changes all the time and custom, stuff, that's what I would do. That's my goal.
That's your passion.
Really. Yeah. Just doing somebody's personal vehicle. And, I just did a Subaru Legacy recently, and just the customer's reaction. She started crying, and it's just like, that's why I do it. That's my artwork on your car. And you love it. And that's just the coolest, most it's just so satisfying.
Right. That never gets old for me. To see the people's reactions and their excitement of basically getting a new car. So, for them at least. Yeah.
And it's crazy what a wrap can do to your car. I mean, I just, Monday I did a color change on a 24-year-old Dodge 1500. And I mean, the paint was kind of beat up and stuff, but the guy, had the money and he wanted to do it. So I was just like, okay. And, got it done, and he was just super, super happy with it. It's the wrap's worth more than the car, but it's still one of those things that it's whatever the customer wants, I'm going to do it for him. So.
Oh, for sure. For sure. And you know what? It breathes new life to that vehicle. A car being 10, 15, 20 years old, to kind of get a new, kind of fresh look to it, or a livery graphic on it. It just, whether it be a little bit more now for the, more than a car's worth, at the end of the day, it's all about the client. And I think a lot of us can agree, it's
all about those smiles.
Yeah. Absolutely. I was going to ask you too, when you were talking a little bit about your schooling and design, what type of like design or creativity were you kind of levitated to? Was it more like, did you draw a lot? Do you come from like a creative background where you can design a lot of your stuff on the computer?
I wish I could say I could design. I saw it actually started kind of like Curvaceous Wraps. She just started drawing. I'm an awesome sketcher. I haven't drawn in a long time, but I can, long story short, I had this book, and it was called My First Bible. Mm-hmm. And I was 6 years old, and I remember opening a page, and there's a picture of Jesus holding a lamb. And I sketched that, and I remember showing my mom, and my mom was just blown away by, how good it was. And ever since then, I've always been a drawer. And so I went to school for 2 months for graphic design. And 1, it wasn't the right time for me to go to school. And 2, I was like, you know what? I can't sit down at a computer and just keep designing stuff. I'm always hands-on kind of guy. I gotta be moving, I got ADD. I gotta just keep doing stuff to keep my mind occupied. And so I quit that. So, I know a little bit about Illustrator and how to set up files for print through other sign shops and stuff, but I don't design. I have 2 designers and printers that I go through, and they are actually both installers. So they both know how to panel out graphics, and which is, there's a graphic designer and there's a wrap designer. They're 2 different things. And I totally trust my designers and stuff. So, and that's always a hard niche too when you're by yourself and you just do installs. Like, for instance, yesterday I got a call about 2 or 6 Chevy Sparks. This guy wants partial wraps on. Mm-hmm. And I said, okay, awesome. Do you have graphics? And he's like, no, I just have a logo. I don't have a design yet or anything. So it's just like, oh, that's kind of hard. So instead of being the middleman, I just send them to my design guys, and obviously they'll let me, install it. So I just tell them the install price, but it's always just kind of I wish I could mock something up for you real quick and see what you think, or, just to help out a little bit more. But I'm just so busy with installing that I really do not have any time to sit down and design or, go back and forth. You like this, change this, kind of thing. So
yeah, that's the toughest part about being solo. I've said it numerous times, and I think a lot of us have gone down that road where you can't wear all the hats all the time. Things suffer in the mix, and if you're a really good installer, then focus more on the installs and pay someone else to do the other stuff. There's nothing wrong with that,
Yeah.
That's being a really good business owner. That's knowing your strengths and focusing on that and honing in on that strength and letting other people do the other side of the business,
Yeah. Oh yeah. And there are so many print companies out there. There's so many that you can go through that, that will know what to do. I've yet to go through We Print Wraps, but they're awesome people. I've heard nothing but great things about them. So I want to definitely start using them in the future. But yeah, that is the hardest thing is like, oh, you don't have graphics. here's my designer's number.
How do people take that when you bring that up, when they call you thinking you're a full service shop, and they expect you to, service them fully from start to finish, design, concept, print, install, all that jazz. And then you're just like, so you might want to call so-and-so. Like, how does that transition go? I'm sure you have a system, when you get that phone call, what you do, how you say it, just so it sounds more professional, where they kind of feel confident enough that what you're saying and who you work with, that you trust enough to do the job.
Yeah, definitely. It's, I'll ask them, what they want, and, I will touch base with my designer first, but, talking with the, customer first, it is kind of like, well, sorry, I don't do that. And it is kind of, like, oh, you don't do that. But, when I tell them I do have a design guy or a print guy that they can go through, then they're like, okay, at least he can refer me to somebody that knows what they're doing, and I tell them that I have, high expectations from these, designers and print guys, and, that they're going to do excellent work. So it's just one of those niches again with being solo, just straight installer. But, I don't see myself in the future getting a printer and sitting down and designing. Just because installing is where my passion is. There's so much to go around installing that so that person's going to find somebody that's going to print it for him and stuff. It's just, you never know if it's going to come to you for the install.
Right. Right. Agreed. And so you have no expectations later on down the road, 5 years, 10 years, where you might have a couple installers with you at that point, and maybe, get your brick and mortar going, and just no thought into that quite yet, or you're just writing it off, not right now.
Yeah, not right now. I mean, you never know where the industry is going to be at in 5 years. It's, but yeah, I mean, there's so many print companies, and I have good friends that actually, both designers and print guys that I know right now that are amazing are actually in their own garage, and they've been doing it for, one guy's been doing it for 15 years. One guy's been doing it for 12. Wow. So they were working for other companies doing all that stuff, and then they went off on their own, at different times, obviously different companies, but, one's more of an artist designer. Like, he is an amazing artist, and he has, offside of all that stuff, he's got his own studio and all that stuff. Yeah, I mean, if I need, more installers or, a printer or anything like that, I would just join forces, and listening to Kevin's podcast, which I've probably listened to like 4 times, but, he was outsourcing it, and, he was doing an install late at night, messing up a panel, and he needed it right then and there, and that's why he got a printer and all that stuff that he needed, which totally makes sense. But I'm not in a shop right now. I'm mobile. I can communicate with the print company because I'm a friend basis. It's not like you're a business, you're closed at 5, I can't call you.
Right.
It's more of a friend basis, and I can be like, oh, I need this by tomorrow morning, 10 o'clock, cool, kind of thing. So that's kind of the difference there.
And there's nothing wrong with that. And it's nice and it's nice that you kind of, and how long have you been working with these two kind of installers and designers? Just the last 2 years, or prior to that?
One for the past 2 years, and the other one I've known through working with, at a sign shop with them for 7 years now. So
yeah, so you've already built that relationship. Kind of things are already kind of written in stone on how you guys work and whatnot. So when you do get that weird phone call or that panel that just is not working out, you need a new one, send a quick text. You're confident enough that you'll have it in the morning or whatnot, and it's nice. But if you're gonna be working with other people, let's just say like Trish or We Print Wraps, they'll get it to you. But the problem is that they're on the other side of the states. You know what I mean? So it's like it's a little bit harder. You've got to put a little bit more planning, making sure all your T's are crossed, the I's are dotted, and that you're confident when you get the material, you're going to be okay for the install. Yeah, and that's always the toughest part. I think at the end of the day, we should have more people like We Print Wraps in different areas. You know what I mean? Yeah. Where it's more convenient for everyone too. And the pricing is, it's a wholesale pricing. That's the biggest thing that Trish, I can't say enough good things about what she's done for the industry, keeping that price point at a bare minimum where everybody can still make a lot of money. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Yeah, totally. And there needs to be way more we Print Wraps for sure.
Yeah, whether it be franchises or something where it's East Coast as well to alleviate the shipping.
The shipping,
and the timing and stuff like that would be nice. But we all been there where your printer gets jammed up, or you need a print done because you're an installer, and you're getting charged $5, $6, $7 a square foot, and there's no real wiggle room to make any profit off of the print. You can make a lot of money doing your install, which is fine, but then you're creeping over $12, $13 a square, all in, and that's kind of where you kind of should be, more or less. Exactly, I mean, that's kind of where we're at here in Mass, between, $12, on a decent wrap or a high end, you might creep up to 15 a square.
Yep. That's same here. Same prices here.
Yeah. So, mean, to leave that little wiggle room where you can make some profit off the print, or even God forbid something, it does get messed up. You know what I mean? You have some extra cash. You're not dipping into your install, profit to make something work,
Yep. And another thing with being solo is I'm doing jobs for other shops that sometimes don't know how to produce the graphics, or they could make it a little easier on me, but I'm okay with that. And so I go to stick their graphics, say on a storefront or something, and the panel is a 1/4 inch too short on all the way around the window, or, stuff like that. So that's another thing with being a solo mobile contract installer is that, I showed up to this job and all of your graphics are short. Now I got to do a site survey for you, and you got to reprint it. I got to come back. That happens at every print shop that I know. It's inevitable. I feel like, with new people coming in and out of production and all that stuff. So that's another hard thing being solo. And that's why I like vehicles, because I feel vehicles are more easy to lay out. In my mind, I'm kind of like Kaylee. Like I'll do wall wraps all day, but if I could do a vehicle instead of wall wraps, I will choose that for sure.
Yeah, you'll choose the car install over a wall install.
Yeah. I mean, I'm super quick at walls, and obviously it's super easy, flat stuff. But it's just I just love the challenge. I love just every vehicle is different. You know, every wall's the same. It's flat.
Right.
You know, you got outlet covers, but you know, that's about it.
That's the extent. Or you got a bad drywall.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's crazy. What do you like the most about the vehicle wrap game? Like what do you like when you sit down and you're wrapping? You're like, oh man, I can't wait to get to this part. Like what's your mind thinking that gets you kind of stimulated to be like, I love what I'm doing?
I'm weird. I'm probably like a lot of passionate installers. I'll look at a car all over before I even touch it, and I will game plan it. I'm going to wrap this first. I'm going to, panel it here. I'm going to, split the backing paper at this point. That's just what I game plan the whole car before I do it. And I just, the whole thing really just satisfies me. It's just every single panel. I'll save the easiest ones for last. Yeah. Obviously I'll do the hood and roof first, so I'm not scratching it while I'm, on the sides and stuff. But, I love how every car is different. Every hood is different, even though it's like one of the easiest things to wrap. Every fender is different. That's another easy panel. It's just one of those things where it's just, where am I going to start? And I like to start on the bumpers first.
Oh,
I like to
just get right
the
into
hard
it.
Part out of the way. Yep.
There you go.
It's a good feeling once you get those bumpers done. I used to, save the bumpers for last, and, the customer's coming, that morning or the next morning to pick it up, and you're like, God, I got to get this done. Oh, I stretched it too far, or, I should have put an inlay piece here. I thought I could have stretched it here, and it's not, post heating it came up or it ripped, and so you got to redo it. And it's just one of those things where it's like, so
it happens. Yeah. I love that you do the bumpers first. I've seen a lot of people, start incorporating that. Just get the hard pieces done first.
Yeah, it's more satisfying. You will have more fun wrapping a vehicle if you have both bumpers done and knowing that they're going to last. And that way, because bumpers are more technical too, and so you want to watch those for a few days that you're wrapping the rest of the car. That way you can know if anything's lifting or anything like that, if anything's failing. So it's just one of those things where it's like, man, I'll wrap the hard part first because I want to keep an eye on it while I'm wrapping all the easy parts.
It totally makes sense.
Yeah.
I totally get where you're coming from on that. Man, I think the one thing that I kind of like is the trimming part. Installing it's pretty quick. It's the trimming and the technique of your blade cuts and cutting around those door handles if you're doing commercial stuff. It's that type of stuff that takes time, and it's tedious, and the OCD kicks in, and
yep.
You got to make those precise cuts, and I love
you mess
trimming.
One cut up and it's over.
That's it. You have literally messed up the panel if that cut is cut jagged, not clean. Just so much can go wrong with the blade, man. If you don't snap a fresh blade. Yep. I worked with somebody before that literally, he must have went through, I don't know, maybe a box of blades a week. It was crazy. Like every cut was like a new blade. I'm like, dude, you can cut probably a little bit more than just like one door and then scrap the whole. He went through the whole sleeve in one door. It's like, holy shit, dude.
God. Yeah.
Like,
I'm a blade clicker though. I definitely, I'm more self-taught, but I guess I want to say I'm self-taught by Justin. I've been, member of the Rap Institute for going on 4 years now, and God, that guy is just the godfather. He just knows every single thing, and it is you got a game plan because okay, I got a vehicle to wrap, but what color am I doing?
Right.
You got 3M. There's a different way to install each material, and there's a different way of cutting material. Some material's thicker, but back to the blade thing, I'm definitely a blade cutter. Here's a little secret, probably a lot of people know, but I order my blades off of Amazon. Yep. I get 100 blades for $15.
It's probably what my buddy does. Cause there's no way he pays like 50, 60 bucks for 100 blades.
Yeah, right. That's so nuts. Cause we go through so many, and like Justin says, always snap a fresh one. So I'm definitely a blade snapper.
Yeah, man. I mean, I'm totally there with you. It was fascinating for me to just watch him click a new blade almost every door panel. I'm just like, wow, you go through a lot of blades. Yeah. And back then, prior to me even knowing anything about like blade cage or anything like that, man, those blades would be all over the floor, and we'd pick them up at the end of the day with scraps,
Yeah, and throw them in the trash can.
Yeah, it's now I would click my blade more often now just because I have a blade cage. You know what I mean?
I actually, with the blade cage and Yellow Tools' new blade cage, I forget the name of it, but my tool pouch, none of them will fit on it. And, so I use the old school Orful plastic thin one. And I just, I use the NT cutter. So I'll use the little tool to break off my blade there, and I'll just stick it in my little Orful box that I have on there. But
yeah, blade cage has got a new clip that you can add to,
I saw that on the outside.
Yes.
On a loop or something. Yeah.
Yeah. Or even you can just, put it in your pocket. You know what I mean? Separate back pocket or something like that. I just updated my pouch. I got like one. I mean, that was something that I talked about a little bit too on my live podcast, which, I talked a little bit on how we carry. A lot of people like Kevin would only have like a squeegee in hand or in pocket.
Or in his headband.
Yeah, in a headband or on his wristband, two blades, the ceramic or in, the regular, stainless, and like one or two little tuck tools or whatnot. But, minimalist is cool, but, how many times do we get up on like a staging? And I'm just talking generically for like commercial. How many times we get up on staging and for some reason, one of your tools falls down. Now you got to get down, pick it up, or, you only carry one squeegee on you and it falls. That thing's toast. You got to put a new buffer on it because then there's dirt and grime on it. It's crazy. And I want to know, I bought one from like Home Depot. I went old school. I mean, I had one I had for like 7 years that just, I've got holes in it. I put a blade in it. It just falls through.
Yeah.
I wore the shit out of that thing, and I just updated to a new one. But I still feel like I don't have enough on it. You know what I mean? Huh. Like on me.
I use mine's a smaller tool pouch because I don't like those big ones that hold everything.
Yeah.
I typically will have 3 different squeegees on me. My favorite squeegee is the Avery red squeegee, and then their like navy blue one. And then I just fell in love with Yellow Tools is I forget the name of it, but it's tapered on the sides of it, and it tapers back. And so I bought actually that at RapsCon and fell in love with it, and then I haven't took it out of my pouch yet. So I love that one. And then I always carry 2 knives on me, just in case I drop one or one runs out of blades. So I don't have to get up. I can just switch knives and bam, I have more blades right there. So it's just one of those things where I'm doubling up in my pouch, but it's not crazy full. And I feel like I have everything that I need.
Yeah, I'm a hoarder, to say the least.
Are you? I'm OCD.
I like to have options. I think that's just my thing. I mean, my pouch isn't big, but by all means, it's not wide. It's kind of on the smaller end, but I feel like I wish I had more kind of pockets to kind of stick things that kind of fit. Like, I love Yellow Tools pouch. For me, it's a little bit bulky, like lengthwise. It's a little bit long. But it fits a lot of stuff too, which is great. And I get the concept. And it being bright orange is cool. I wish they kind of made like a black one, because I'm more subdued, kind of like I'm a jeans or kind of like work pants type of guy. And to have a bright orange pouch, it's kind of, I'm not really flashy like that, I guess.
Yeah.
But I love having tools on me, dude. I don't know what it is. I've had the habit now where I'm kind of using the whole wristband that Kevin uses, and just sticking a couple tools there where it's things that I use often, you know, whether it be my blade or my little tuck tool that I'm always pulling out. Keep those there instead of like having them like in my pouch or lost somewhere in the pocket. And I love that.
What's your favorite tuck tool?
So I'll tell you a story. I purchased the Avery ones, like the blue and red one, right?
Yep.
And I used it to do some chrome delete accents. And I know on Justin's page, he had, you know, mentioned that the ends are really sharp, and they generally get caught in your pouch. You know, I don't even think the whole pouch thing was a big deal. What I had a problem is if you don't tuck it in like perfectly straight, and you got to kind of push the stick back, it can actually grab the vinyl and pick it up and poke a hole in it. And I'm like, oh my God. Yeah. So I did what he said, you know, kind of just like trim the edges off, get rid of that like sharp edge. It still happens, man. It's crazy. It's, you know, that was my first kind of interaction of using somewhat of a tuck tool. So then after doing a little bit of research, obviously, you know, Yellow Tools has theirs that with the rounded edges. And I'm like, dude, that's perfect. And that's kind of like my new tool. And who's going to complain, dude? Like, the thing's magnetic. Like, you can just stick it on the car. Like, it's a win-win, dude, you know?
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. I picked up, I think it was a softer one, the green colored one.
Yep, that's my favorite too.
Yeah, I think I'm going to pick up like the gold one, which is a little bit more
stiffer. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. To kind of get in those corners. But I feel like that and the and I don't know what the name is. I don't have it right in front of me, but it's the same one in green. And it's
I think it's called the Betty.
It's the round one.
I could be wrong, but I think it's called the Betty with the round one side and then the
exactly. Like, that's my new tool. I mean, I love Yellow Tools. I'm kind of like a Yellow Tools fanboy. You know? and to see it at RapsCon, I'm just like, oh, please, one of everything. You know, Ernie, exactly. Please. Yeah. You know, I had a budget, man. I could not blow that. I would have went home broke that first day of RapsCon.
Yeah, same here. I'm just like you. I used the Avery Flex Stream for years. And fell in love with it. Did not know how I was wrapping stuff without them, but I would cut the ends off and they would be fine for tucking and stuff. And then here comes the wrap sticks, and it's like, oh, what are those? You know, I'm all for trying new things. And that green Betty one, oh my God, the smaller end can tuck in those corners so well.
Yes.
And it's like a flattened finger that's like skinny that you can push inside there, and it grabs the vinyl perfectly and slides right back out when you're tucking. And it's amazing. It's amazing, the technology and the tools in our industry these days. You know, I remember, I think it was your last podcast with I forget his name, but you know, all you had was a golden squeegee and Orful metal knife.
That's
and that was it.
Yep.
Yep. And nowadays, look at it now. It's
crazy. It's crazy.
It's
how about
nuts.
How about the Teflon? I'm gonna again, the whole names thing drives me crazy because I can never keep up. But like the Teflon, kind of like I want to call it the dentistry tool, where it's got the little ball on the edge to pick up the rubber.
I've been wanting to try one of those.
I got one
for Knifeless.
I got one at RapsCon, dude. I think it's, I saw, so I was waiting, my turn at the booth to place my order. And I bumped into Blake from Remix, and I was like in envy. He's like, yeah, I'll take 2 of these. I'm like, dude, calm down, bro. Like, holy shit. Like, and I saw him. He was getting that Teflon kind of dentistry tuck tool. And I'm like, dude, that's such a great tool. He's like, yeah, man, before you'd have to stick your blade like inside of the front windshield, you know what I mean? To get it lifted back so you could tuck your squeegee behind it to get the little excess, 1/8 inch, 1/4 inch material behind there to tuck it.
Yeah.
And that was like the old school way of doing it. You get the squeegee, or you get a shitty squeegee that you're never going to use because there's always dirt, grime, whatever behind there. And you're not going to stick a good squeegee in there. You get a shitty one. You jam that in there to kind of peel the rubber back. And then, you bring your material in and underneath it. And this solves all of that, dude. And it's durable. And it's not going to mess up your vinyl because of the Teflon. It just glides. Dude.
Do you use the ballpoint end?
Yeah.
Is that what you're talking about?
And the other side's got like a little flat side that you can just go like, I don't know, around like the quarter windows on the back, probably to get around there too. It's the perfect tool, and they have different sizes, different widths. I think I got like, it's the blue handled one. It's probably like the medium one.
And that's by Yellow Tools?
By Yellow Tools, dude.
Okay.
Check it out. Watch the videos.
I just wrote it down.
Dude, it's phenomenal. And to think that the way we used to do shit, and now with these tools, it's like, oh my God, what the hell were we doing back then? You know what I mean?
It's the small things that count. And if you can, get those corners down or, tuck a little further, in little areas, it just makes the wrap look that much better.
And time. It saves time, dude. I couldn't tell you how many times it would take me forever to do like a roof wrap, because you have both ends. You have the front windshield and then the back window where you have the rubber. And it would take me longer to tuck the thing behind the rubber, not having the right tool, than it would me even wrapping the stupid roof. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. I love talking about this stuff.
Tools are cool, man. I can't get enough of them. And I love when new stuff comes out, because I'm just like, oh my God, this is so great. Like, this is exactly what we needed.
It's so true. So true. And Yellow Tools is so awesome, because if you have an idea, it takes so much time to patent something and whatnot, but Yellow Tools has the tools to create the tools that you want, or your ideas and stuff. And they're blowing the industry up with, taking what installers think they need and turning it into a tool.
Right.
And they're just, I love them for that.
And they give back to the installers that are, giving their advice to tools or creating a new tool. They give back to them. Like, who does that? Like, nobody. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. I love that. And just super humble. It's just this whole rap family is just, I can't imagine myself anywhere else.
Yeah, right? It's such, we get to play with stickers on cars all day long. I mean, I love when people ask, what do you do? What do you do for a career? I'm a rapper, and you get that weird look like, like, I know I've said this plenty of times, but it's like,
we've all been there.
Music videos or,
right.
No, I put stickers on cars.
Yeah.
I love that, when I bumped into, Charlie from LE Raps. I had him. Yeah, I had him on a couple weeks prior to RapsCon, and we were talking, and during his his convo, his episode, I had mentioned, about, calling his rap, installers rap technicians.
Yep.
I thought that was just amazing, where you put, you were not just I don't want to say we're just installing stickers on cars. We are rap technicians. It just makes it sound more professional, and it gives more value to what we're doing. And it just, overall, when someone says you're a rap technician, then they're like, whoa, okay, that sounds interesting. Yeah. What is that? You know what I mean?
You produce music?
Yeah. You get the whole other spectrum. Yeah. It's like, shit, can't get away from that.
No, that's so perfect. That's how it should be. And I did hear that. I don't know if it was from you at RapsCon or on one of the podcasts, but that's so perfect. A rap technician is what we should say. I mean, I usually say I'm a rap artist.
Yeah.
But it's just one of those things where, rap technician, that's who I am.
Right. And it just sounds more professional, more that you kind of take pride in what you do. For your client. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're not just a guy putting on stickers and I'm
not just some punk kid. Oh, I rap cars,
Right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the culture is so cool because it's so diverse. I mean, seeing everybody at RapsCon, a lot of us have different styles and cultures, and, some of us tattooed, no tattoos, kind of, long shorts, long socks, with Dickies on. We all have that kind of swag and and that's the beauty of what we do, is that we don't have any type of uniform or any type of guideline that we need to obey by.
Yeah.
For our industry. We just be who we are and be good at what we do,
Exactly. And I love it. I just love it. I'm glad I don't have to sit in a cubicle and wear a suit or, just wear something that's black shoes,
right.
Khakis, like I can wear what I want.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm comfortable.
Yeah. I like putting on my shorts and my Dickie shoes and, a nice, Rap Life shirt and go on my day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the way it should be, man. I want to talk a little bit too. I know we jumping around a little bit about RapsCon too, because that was your second time going, right?
Yeah, second year going. First year, Marty from High Res, he's down in Pueblo, so he's 3.5, 4 hours away from me. But he was like, "Hey, man, do you want to compete together?" And we've never worked together. And so I was like, yeah, why not? Heck yeah. And so I was like, well, let's do something together before we go so we can, actually see each other face to face. And so I drove down to Pueblo and I kind of helped him with a, Escalade wrap. I think it was satin black or matte black, one of those colors. It's been a while, but, yeah, I went down there and I just started rapping this thing, and he's so busy that he was like, he helped me out for about an hour, and then he was like, "Oh, I gotta go. I got a job to go do, blah, blah, blah." And I was just like, "Okay, I'll just finish this for you," cause it was mostly wrapped. And so, his wife was there and so I'm there rapping it and I finished it up, and then I'm like, okay, well, I'm out of here.
See you at RapsCon.
Yeah. I'll see you at RapsCon. So, that was my first competition ever too. That was definitely, just a mind blowing experience, because here I am rapping next to, my idols, Charlie, Tadashi, all these people. And I'm just like, wow, I'm actually competing right next to these people. And, and it's always nerve wracking. I don't care how experienced you are. It's competitions are always, get the nerves going, but it was fun. I had I learned so much about what competitions expect of you. And this year I actually was just like, I'm just going to take it easy. I was going to ask, another installer to just see if he wanted to go, but, I was like, I was so focused on competing in the Rap Olympics that I didn't get a chance to walk around and talk to people. And so I said, I'm just going to take a break this year, and next year's another year. So I got to network more with, other installers and shop owners. And it was super nice to just kind of walk around and just do my own thing and see people that I haven't seen in a year and, and talk about raps like you.
Yeah.
So.
It was great. To be honest with you, I mean, I know we followed each other on Instagram and social media, and, your name came up in one of the podcasts, to talk about, which is a funny story. I mean, we talked about it, a little bit at RapsCon, and it ended up the story was like totally bogus.
Yeah. I was like, yeah, Digi Dan was like, well, so Yellow Tools had a party, that Friday night before RapsCon, and that was an awesome party, by the way. Dave's house is amazing, but yeah, Dan came up to me and he was just like, "Oh, are you you wrapped those Jeeps for SEMA, right?" And I was like, "No, that wasn't me." I was like, "Well, you say I did, but I didn't wrap anything for SEMA." I wish I did. And he was like, "No, that had to be you," and like just kept going off. But actually, since then, me and him been kind of talking back and forth about me and him might compete together next year in the Rap Olympics.
There you go.
Even though he's in a different state and kind of stuff like that, it's just we kind of just hung out. And he's just a stand-up, humble guy, and he's passionate, and he loves Knifeless more than anybody that I've met besides, Phil and Joffrey, but, he's all about it. It's so cool. He's like, "You've never done a whole car with no knife?" And I was like, "No, that sounds crazy." And he's like, "It's definitely doable. You should try it." And I'm like, "Okay." That just
I'm up
blew
for
my
a challenge.
mind. No, yeah. And one of the challenges in the Rap Olympics was to wrap a door handle with no knife. And in my mind, I'm just like, whoa, how do you do that? And so that just gets my mind going. And so, I haven't tried it yet. I haven't had time, but I'm definitely have some ideas that I'm going to throw around and see if I can try one of Justin's, cold pre-stretch around each side and keep the Knifeless on the inside. And just one of those things, you got to try it. You got to get hands on with it. And so you know it, but that kind of stuff. Just after RapsCon, my mind goes crazy about what I want, what I want to do, what's next. It's like meeting your celebrities. It's so cool. I know I said this in our interview in the Ferrari, but it's so cool how your idols can turn into your brethren.
Right.
I look up to Kevin so much. He is an artist, and he is on a whole nother level, as so many other installers are, but he's just so humble about it. He's just amazing at what he does. And, he's more or less a one man band, and it's just amazing the art that he puts out. It blows my mind. And so he's definitely one of my, and I'm sitting there talking with him at RapsCon, and it's just like, like talking to a celebrity, you're just like mind struck. You're just like, whoa, I can't believe I'm actually talking to you about what I do for a living. And it's just super humbling. And that's why I love the Rap family. Even if, I couldn't find any printed, carbon fiber that looks super close to SOTs.
Yeah.
And long story short, SOT had something go wrong or whatever, and I couldn't get it. So, I talked to Chris at Rappable and I said, hey man, will you send me a sample of your printed carbon fiber? And again, long story short, customer loved it. I did some accents on a GTR for it. And that's just going back to how we're all one big family. You know, we can contact each other, you know, states away and be like, hey, send me this. I might need to, you know, buy 4 or 5 yards from you. Or, you know, it's just, you don't see that anywhere else in any other industry. I don't feel like.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, you're always going to have the weirdness of people sometimes where they don't want to participate or network. And I think that's in any industry as well. You know, people like to be, I don't want to say secretive, but they kind of just keep to themselves a lot of the time. And to be honest with you, that's perfectly fine. But I think you gain so much more being open and networking. It opens up your eyes quite a bit. I mean, like a lot of people know I haven't been in the industry I took a little small hiatus for about 3 years. You know, doing the podcast opened my eyes a little bit further, you know, since the last 3 years that I've kind of missed out a little bit. But man, going to RapsCon, I'm just like, holy shit, like overload of information.
Yeah, it really is.
It's unbelievable. And then you come back home and like you said, you're just like, okay, what am I going to tackle first? Who am I going to call first? Who am I going to talk to? You know, it's just, it really shows that, you know, given that we only have like one, well, I'm not going to say like one event, but one big event like this where it's industry driven and really just industry specific. SEMA is like a whole nother level. A lot of cars involved, different avenues, products, and things like that. But like RapsCon is like our kind of Disney World that you you said. You know what I mean? It
so is.
Everybody and anybody that's in the industry is probably there if given the opportunity to go. And to see everybody come together and there's no animosity and people are just talking and networking, man, it's such a great feeling to know that you're just a little part of this big, you know, this big idea in this big brand. Like it's phenomenal. It leaps and bounds where this industry has gone. I mean, I used to go to like old school sign conventions in like New Jersey. That's as far as I could go. That was the closest thing to me. And they would be doing rap demos, but dude, I'm going back maybe like 10 years ago. You know what I mean?
Okay.
8 years ago, where raps were slowly starting to come out, and they were that maybe one person would be there doing one demo and out of all the booths there. And it slowly dwindled down. Every year, the event would get smaller and smaller and smaller. And I'm just like, man, we really need something to kind of, you know, bring this back and hone in on something great. And when Raps blew up, dude, and RapsCon came out and more rap people are doing demos and the distributors are getting involved with having people showcase and install their product in the booth, dude. Game changer. Changer.
Oh yeah, you can feel it, you can see it, you can test it out. I mean, Justin's booth. Oh man, like it's what it should be, but I can't imagine what it's going to be like in 2 years.
Right.
You know. It's changing so fast and growing so fast. And that's an amazing thing too for everybody.
Yeah, he's doing a lot for the industry, man. And to have that booth set up the way he had it, bro, it's just, you know, you can't get that. You couldn't get that anywhere else. You couldn't get to use different materials that he had laying around. Yeah, go ahead. It was just free reign. Go ahead. Cut whatever you want off the roll. Use it.
Yeah, there goes $120 worth of material. Just go ahead.
Yeah. It's not like he had just like, he had chrome in there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
He had a
3M textured.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Like, there was no cheaping out, like, yeah, his psychedelic or his matte black and his dead black. Or, like, he had legit stuff from a bunch of different brands to test out. And, you know, at the end of the day, that's going to help people get more comfortable with using different brands and looking outside the box of 3M and Avery and Oracle and using other things like Hexus. I think I tried to install like Hexus Chrome, which was fascinating. I mean, I had such a great time in the booth, but damn, you can't get that anywhere else.
Yeah, I yet to do a Chrome wrap. I mean, I want to, but I feel like my price range, it just scares people away yet here. I've only seen like 3 or 4 cars here in Denver that have chrome wraps on them, and some are not that great. So it's kind of new here. So,
I agree.
Yeah. Well, Chrome is crazy. I mean, everything you hear about it is just like, oh my God, do I want to install it? Like, like it would look amazing, but
yeah, don't think I want to go down that avenue right now.
Yeah. Yeah. So I've been installing since 2012. So 7 years.
Yeah.
And every day I still learn something.
Hell yeah. That's what it's all about, dude.
Yeah. I'll be honest. So I'm going to talk about my 3M Preferred class real quick.
Bring it up.
To the doing it for 7 years. So actually RapsCon, my first year, RapsCon 2017, the VIP party was on a boat, and we just kind of cruised along the coast for a little bit. But that party was pretty awesome. But I'm inside and I'm talking to Kevin about stuff, and all I hear is Jake, they're calling your name, and I'm like, what's going on? And they're like, they're calling your name. And so I go outside, and they were actually naming prizes that people can win if you RSVP to the party, which I didn't even know about. And and so Troy Downey, the creator of the Rap Glove, he was like, hey, are you 3M Preferred yet? And I was just like, no. He's like, well, do you want to become 3M Preferred? And I said, heck yeah, I do. And he was like, well, you just won a free 3M Preferred class with Adam Sumner in Burbank, California. And I was like, no way. Like, that's, wow. Oh my God. I was just like, oh my God, yes, please. And thank you. And just super happy, and just, I couldn't believe what I just won. And so, yeah, I went down to Burbank and hung out with Adam for a week and got 3M Preferred, and that was pretty fun.
Good for you, dude. See, I didn't even know that. That's insane. So you were the winner of 2017 to get 3M Preferred. As you got that as a prize. Yeah. Dude. Yeah,
totally worth its money for sure.
Oh my God. I mean, we all know it costs money for training, some are more than others, as we know, but it is a little bit of a burden because it's a tough nut for a lot of us that are either solo guys or, smaller operations to lose a week's worth of work to go get certified, even though it's kind of the cost of one wrap. And, if you save for that particular, instance that you want to get preferred, it takes time. But dude, to win it, dude, and to go to California, I mean, all you had to pay was what? The plane ticket and your stay, right?
Yep. Plane ticket and hotel, and that was it.
Simple, dude. That's awesome. Now, also, too, I'm going to throw out there, you were the first ever to pass the test in one day.
Yeah, that's what Adam said. I keep kind of questioning him about that, but he keeps saying, yeah, you're the only one that's done, the whole test in one day. Cause the cars, one day, and then all the substrates, walls and floor and all that stuff are another day. And I'm not going to say I'm the fastest, I'm not going to say I'm the best whatsoever. But I did the car pretty fairly quickly and knocked some time off. And I was just like, I'm not going to go on to the other stations. And he was just like, well, yeah, if you want to, we could definitely do that if you want. And I was just like, yeah, let's do it. I'm pumped. And so I just finished it all and went to just each station and just crushed it. I think my lowest score was an 87 on that HHR front bumper. But will I ever wrap that front bumper ever again? No.
No, right. Yeah.
So, but yeah, and I'm super confident in myself. I know there's a difference between cocky and confident. So in the beginning of the class, you sit down, you talk about yourself. Where do you feel like you are? Adam says on a 1 through 5, 1 being, or 0, you've never touched vinyl before. It's a, 5 if you're handed vinyl, you know what to do with it. Kind of thing. And so we're all going, I'm the last one. I said 5 because
what everybody else say, first of all?
They were like, oh, I'm a 2, I'm a 1, I'm a 3.5 or whatever.
There were no other 5s in the class?
No.
Oh,
no,
Jesus.
They were all new. And so I was just like, but in my mind, I kept thinking like, well, you're going to give me vinyl to wrap something. I'm going to wrap it. That's what I thought about. Not material wise. If I give you IJ380, are you going to know how to wrap it on, on this substrate or whatever? And so I said 5. I've been doing it for, this long. I love sticking vinyl, blah, blah, blah. And then Adam goes and he goes, I'm a 3 because and he looks at me and I look at him and I'm like, God damn it. Just like, oh, you just showed me up. Like, oh man, here we go. And
all the eyeballs are going to be on you now.
yeah. And so I was just like, oh man, I fucked up there already. First day. And, but during the whole class, he was just like, man, you definitely have it down. You know what you're doing. And all the other guys in the class did great, but they were fairly new. So, you always have those guys asking you questions when Adam's busy talking to somebody else. And it's just like, well, dude, I just kind of want to rap. The best thing to do, I always tell him, is just keep going, make mistakes, learn from them, and just keep rapping. This is what this class is for. Like, Adam has thousands and thousands of dollars worth of vinyl for you to waste on these cars. So just stick it, get at it. Obviously, ask questions and I would answer them and I'd help them out and I'd show them how to, stretch it and whatnot. But, it was one of those things where I was like, oh man, he just, like, I said 5 and he said 3 and he's got way more years on me. And it was just one of those things where it's like, oh man, here we go.
Yep.
He's going to think I'm some cocky,
You started the tone, dude, and you had to keep it.
Yeah.
That is definitely so funny. How many people in the class that you were in, how many people ended up dropping out?
Actually, so they were all pretty much beginners to intermediate, and one other guy was going to do the test, but then last minute dropped out. So it's actually just me doing the test. So I think that kind of helped out with me doing the whole test in one day as well. So it's just me doing the test throughout the whole day. So I had the whole Friday to myself and my flight was on that day. So I was just like, well, can I just come hang out with you on Friday? And he's like, yeah, definitely. We'll go grab some lunch. And his mom and Adam's mom and dad are just, oh my God, the sweetest people in the world. They were at RapsCon this year and I wore, my Rapix, Academy shirt and like she totally recognized me and oh man. And see, that's just what it's about. It's just coming back together and just recognizing people and social media is changed the rap industry as well as, seeing what other people are doing versus, hey, what color is that material? Hey, what is this material? That wasn't around, 4 or 5 years ago. And so that's another thing on the list to talk about is just social media is just how, like, I know what you ate for breakfast yesterday, kind of thing. So
That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, a lot of us, a lot of us post a few things, throughout the day, and whether it be rap related or not rap related, it's all good because we all know, we all have families, we all have lives, we're all passionate about the industry, but we also have different passions outside of the industry, and that's what makes everybody different, So it's nice to see, like, even like Moody, he's a bike rider. Like that's his passion too, man. He likes to go out after work on the weekends, hit those mountains and ride. And some people, like Rappable likes to go on his boat and hang out. Yep. You know what I mean? Everybody has something different. And it's nice to see the other side of the coin, so to say. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Other hobbies and our lifestyles outside of rapping. Definitely.
Exactly. And we all need that at the end of the day. I know I gripe about this so much that we all work, the 12, 15 hour days and, 70, 80 hours a week. And it's, we gotta have time to, separate ourselves because we don't want to burn the candlestick on both ends or anything like that, or get burnt out too fast in the middle of the week. You know what I mean? You're burnt out. Yeah. You still got 2-3 more days left, and you're just like, oh my God, is it Friday or is it Saturday yet?
Yeah.
It's crazy. Exactly. What type of hobbies do you like to do outside of rapping?
Well, I'm a full-time father.
Nice.
I have 3 kids, 2 boys and a girl. Both boys are older.
Beat me. 3, huh?
Yeah.
What are the ages?
Let's see. One just turned 8, 5, and 2.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Still young.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. But they are so active, and actually we were talking about skateboarding like a week ago, and I used to skateboard a lot, and back in the day, and was pretty good. The kids were talking about skateboarding, and I was like, you know what, let's watch a skate video. And they're like, what is that? And so we turn on a skate video, just like watching, Justin Pate and his rap videos. You get so enthused to just right after you watch the video, go do it. And I showed my kids the skate video, and after that they were like, let's go to the skate park. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to pick it up again. And so I went and bought a skateboard for myself. And so we've been going to the skate park quite a bit. I mean, I've been taking them to the skate park, but I've just been kind of sitting there, kind of jonesing to skate. So now I'm on a board, and it's been a while, but it feels good.
That's awesome.
That's one of the hobbies, but mostly with anything with the kids, the family, camping. I'm in Colorado, so we got the mountains. Just hiking with the kids, they love that, and just family time, really. That's the most important thing to me. And Justin's like, oh, if you're not home by 6, you're doing it wrong. And I totally get that. And it's hard right now being a one-man band, but I'll get there. The wife is definitely understanding of my hours and super supportive, and now she supported me through all these years. Don't want to toot my own horn, but I'm doing so well that she can stay home and go to school and do her dream career and stay home with the kids and stuff like that. So it's just a good feeling, with all that stuff, that she's at home and taking care of the kids. I don't have to pay out the ass for daycare.
Yeah, dude, it's crazy. Yeah, it's definitely nice. And not saying that being at home, and taking care of the kids isn't a job. Holy shit.
No. Oh yeah, definitely. That is a full-time job.
yeah. That in itself, I'd rather be at work.
Us males rather be at work. Well, they'd rather too, but
it's don't get me wrong. I did that for a little while too. I had my little one with me back in the day, starting my business, and she's grown up in the industry. It's all she knew, daddy at work, putting stickers on cars. And I kind of feel like, I spent a lot of time at work too. And that's all they kind of remember. Daddy was always at work. And when I started switching my, hours and making, changes in my life, it got a lot better later on in life, but I lost out a lot in the early years, you know what I mean? Which you can never get that back. And hearing Justin say, got to be home by 6, got to be home by 5, that work will be there tomorrow. Don't worry about it. Go home. It's, that really hits home with me at least. And that's what I try to kind of convey, these last few episodes. It's just, you can't always work. Work will always be there, and to be home with the family, that's the most important part. We're passionate about our work, but at the end of the day, we have families, and we can't forget about that. And to have somebody supportive as well in your corner definitely helps and eases those times where you have to work late, and it's going to be an easy conversation to be like, hey, I have to stay a couple more hours tonight, and it's not going to be an issue, but not making that a habit too, and not taking advantage of those situations. It's, you have to learn how to just say no sometimes,
Yep. It is a challenge to balance that and find time for just yourself.
Yeah.
That way your mind is clear and to sit back and organize yourself. And it definitely takes some time, but I'm definitely learning that through these couple of years of being in business. And so I'm still a freshie. But my son the other day, he goes, Daddy, who's your boss? And I go, I'm boss. I'm my own boss. And he goes, so you don't have a boss? And I said, well, I'm my boss. I don't have a boss, but I call the shots. And he was just like mind blown. Like, what? You don't have a boss? Like, you don't work for, wow. Okay. Like, and I think that's just a cool thing to show, your kids is, hey, I own my own business. I have control of, my work and that stuff, and I can provide for you guys and still be happy and love what I do. And to show your kids that, doing what you love to do is a rare thing. So I wrapped my fridge the other day. It was some extra material. It looks like concrete. And they were just like, oh, I want to help. And Torrance, my 5-year-old, he's always, he saw me put a squeegee in my mouth and straighten out the vinyl. And so he did that same thing, just kind of, and it was just like, whoa, you can't teach that,
No, it's in your DNA, dude. And I think you had a photo of him in a previous post a while back.
Yeah, a few years ago,
with the squeegee in his mouth, dude. And I was like, you can't teach somebody that. They see it and they copy, and there's no greater feeling than seeing your kids kind of mimic the things you do. It feels good to see them kind of like play with the vinyl and put it on and be like, yeah, there you go. Yep, keep going. I'll teach you the ropes, kid. When you're 16, you're going to be leaps and bounds further than I ever was at that age. You know what I mean?
Yeah, start them young. I mean, I started skateboarding when I was 9, and just growing up skateboarding, just watching 2-year-olds and 4-year-olds skating. How good are those kids going to be? Like, it's so true. Just start them young. And if that's all they know, it's just going to be a second nature to them. And, it's just one of those things where it's just like, wow, this kid's 14 years old and he's wrapping fenders and hoods and stuff and on his own,
Imagine, so. I mean, how soon do you think that at some point we're going to have a certified installer be at such a young age? Like under I don't know, under 18, let's just say?
Oh, I guarantee there's a few of them out there, but not certified. But I guarantee they could get certified.
They're just too scared to kind of take that leap or take that extra step to get certified. Yeah, I think there are out there, and I think there's people that we haven't met yet that are great installers or designers that are up and coming that will slowly make their mark in the industry, and may change things up as every couple years or a year or so goes by. There's a new, greater and bigger thing to come out, and we just have to sit and wait to see what comes out of it. Yep,
that's so true. I mean, I've listened to the podcast, and there's probably somebody that works out of their garage right now that's just probably one of the best, and we don't even know about it. Just because he's just still in his garage, just doing what he loves. It's just one of those things.
Right.
And they are starting younger, and I have one of my print guys. He's got his son. I think he's 7, I believe. He's already weeding stickers and
that's awesome.
Doing stuff like that. So it's gonna happen.
For sure.
If it's already happened.
Yeah, I know, right? That's incredible, man. I wanted to ask you too. I know you brought up like Kevin and Justin Pate. Who else are like mentors or influencers that you kind of follow or listen to or read about that may be in the industry or may not be in the industry?
I also, I think one of the smartest people in the rap industry is John Duver.
Mm-hmm.
He is a whole nother animal. He is so fired up about raps all the time. He is so smart about every little thing. And when it comes down to it, every little thing matters.
Right.
And so him. I don't really outside of the rap industry, not very too many people that I can think about, but like I said, I'm kind of like, I'm just one of those like guys who is like, or what's Kevin doing now, or what tools he using, or what's Charlie doing, right now, or just that kind of stuff. And social media brings that to you, what they're doing, what's new, that kind of stuff. So it's just the big names right now. My number one huge idol is Justin.
Mm-hmm.
He just takes it to another level. He travels everywhere to learn stuff, to teach us, to because there's different techniques for everything, to use a tool, to the material you're laying down, everything to window film. Like he wants to get that out there, and I think he's doing an amazing job of that. Every time I'm wrapping a vehicle, his voice pops in my head like, oh, run a finger,
Mm-hmm.
like I'll cut, by the fender, run a finger, that kind of stuff just like pops in my head, so he's definitely one of those, mentors I look up to. But yeah, just everybody. There's new people coming out. There's old people coming out, it's just the industry has everybody in it. And like you said, everybody's different and everybody has their own style. And I love to see everybody's style.
Yeah. I love seeing kind of everyone's day to day. Like when I go through my feed on like Instagram, I just get like fired up when I start seeing like really cool shit on there, dude.
Oh yeah.
I'm just like, damn, I want to work today. You know what I mean? It's
yeah.
It's like, how can I make something cool like that today? Like that's my goal.
Without doing it for free.
Yeah, exactly. Without doing it for free or losing my shirt doing it, I want to do that. You know what I mean? And I think that's that's the greatest thing about like this going back just to social media, man. It not only is it there to kind of help kind of build a portfolio or kind of go through your day in, day out type of atmosphere and what you do at your shop, but like it also inspires like the little guys or your mentors where, you know, you look at what they're doing, you're just like, that is just a piece of art. It's incredible. How I want to be involved in something like that. And you're always looking for that next job where you're just like, I remember when like Justin did this or Kevin did that or Duver did this. And, you know, it's like you want to incorporate a little bit of everybody into your kind of style and make it you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's an expression of you, your brand, and what you're doing. And I have many mentors, many influencers that I follow day in and day out, and I love watching like Tate's live videos and Kevin's live videos, where you get to just honestly like they might only have like 3, 4, 5, 10 people watching, and they'll drop off as time goes on. But man, I could sit there and watch Kevin rap
for hours.
For as long as he's on live, I'll just have it running in the background. You know what I mean? It just fascinates me how quick he is and how precise and intricate and what he does. Like, it's just, I'm just like, wow, like in awe. Like, dude, that's awesome.
Watching the professor in his own habitat, in his own world, you know, it's so true. I could watch it forever.
Yeah, and we would, and to think, 4, 5, 6 years ago, like you would never get that experience or to be able to see that in a live broadcast or even, YouTubed videos because it takes so long to edit. It's on live. It's on for 24 hours. If you miss it on the live, you're still able to watch it later. It's technology, man. Technology and tools, man. I'm like, ooh, thank you.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Like, thank God I live in a time that we're able to experience these things. You know what I mean?
Oh, I totally agree. Totally agree.
Incredible, dude. Incredible. Well, dude, I know you have your family to attend to, and I appreciate the amount of time you've given me for creating this episode with you, dude. I had such a great time meeting you at RapsCon. I don't even think we had any interaction ever on social media other than likes back and forth. It was never any conversation. But dude, when you came up to me, you were just like, man, I love the podcast. I was just like, oh my God, like my heart melted, dude. I couldn't even tell you how many people would come up to me and talk to me. And like, for me to think that like only a few people would listen to it and to have people actually come up and be like, dude, the podcast is great. Like, I can't wait for Mondays. It's my Monday thing. And like for you to come up and talk to me, man. And for me to already kind of know you a little bit from a prior conversation with Dan and thinking like, I got to have you on and then finally meeting you at the show. Dude, it was awesome. I had such a great time, and you and your wife were great. And I got to thank her on air for allowing us to do that Ferrari segment too. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm really sorry. You're going to follow me kind of like around like a puppy dog because I'm just going to be going everywhere, talking to people, and she's like, she totally gets it. She sees that different glow in my face when I'm at RapCon because, like you said, it's Disneyland for us. So yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Yeah, I had such a great time, dude. And honestly, thank you for taking the time at RapsCon to do that as well, man. You're such a humble dude. And even though you've only been kind of doing it for yourself, for a very short time, things are gonna look up, shortly for you, man. You're doing great work.
Thank you.
You're getting certified, which is great. That's a big thing now that I've always kind of, not always, but, lately have been really promoting. I'm actually
true believer.
Yeah, dude, you need it. And it just solidifies what you're doing, and it helps the industry at the end of the day. Like, that's what it's about.
Yep. It shows that you care. Anybody could go buy a roll of vinyl and say that they're certified. But if you actually show somebody, hey, here's my certificate. Here's the time that I took to go get certified because I'm passionate about what I do. And it just shows, customers and other people that, you care and you're going to do a great job.
Yeah. And it instills confidence in them using you, which is at the end of the day, you educate your client and you let them know, the ins and outs, and you having that certificate could mean that you get the job over someone else at the end of the day.
Exactly.
So, props to you, dude. Thank you so much again.
You're welcome. I appreciate
taking
it.
The time.
I was like, man, I'm kind of fresh in the industry in a way. I don't know how much I would say, but, it's been great, Jeff.
Yeah,
this
has been a great conversation, dude. And like I said, even though you're still fresh, you still have contributed to the industry, and you still have a voice in the industry. And that's the biggest thing. I want the heavy hitters to come on and speak their mind and share their stories. But I also want the newbies to come on, whether you're 6 months, a year, 2 years, a month. I want to get your feedback. I want to know what you're doing and how you're doing it and what you see, the industry going in your eyes, because everyone's got a different perspective.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And it's different, worldwide.
Exactly.
So yeah, totally.
Exactly. Jake,
I appreciate it.
Complete honor. As always, like we end the show, dude, let everybody know where they can find you on social media or websites to get in contact with you.
Getting a webpage designed actually right now. That will be lucidwraps.net, but it's not out right now. But you can find me on Instagram at lucid_wraps and on Facebook Lucid Wraps.
Perfect.
So yeah,
awesome, dude. Yeah. Jake, complete pleasure, dude. I wish you well for 2018, brother.
Same to you, Jeff. I'll be seeing you at SEMA.
I'm hoping, bro. I'm saving my pennies, dude.
Yeah. Same here. But it's worth it, man. I love SEMA, but I'll see you then. Okay?
For sure.
It was a pleasure.
For sure. Thanks, Jake. I appreciate it.
All right. Thanks, Jeff.
What's up, everybody? Hope you enjoyed this episode of the All Wrapped Up podcast. Hit that rank button and review. And to stay up to date with future podcasts, hit that subscribe button. Till next time, folks, that's a wrap.